Boats lie submerged in the water and broken glass litters the ground in places after another stormy night on Auckland's waterfront. Almost 50 boats were damaged or broke their moorings in last night's storm, including a super yacht and the Great Barrier Island ferry. Full containers were blown over, some into the harbour, and boaties were left cleaning up their damaged vessels. Tom Furley and Nick Monroe filed this report.
From the port all the way to Westhaven Marina, the destruction of last night's storm is easy to see. Plastic furniture, containers and debris float in the sea, and boaties were out checking on their pride and joy. Bob Still was drinking rum on his boat last night when it struck.
Last night there was some thunder and I thought, oh, I wonder, and then it started to rain and it was just a bit gentler and I thought, oh no, that's all right. And then next minute it was just this major whoosh of wind again. That strong that you knew that if it kept going, things were just going to fly to pieces.
His boat escaped unscathed, and after the storm ripped through, he was out helping fire and emergency access boats that were damaged.
I mean, I've been sailing for 50-something years and I've never felt wind like that. And so I pulled the washboards out so I had an escape route and looked out the back of the boat, and it's just like mayhem, you know.
50 metres down the wharf, Roger Henstock's mast lies across the walkway. A power box is down and the neighbouring yacht is totally submerged.
And I've been told the boat actually rose up out of the water, landed on our forward cabin, and one guy took a photograph of it and it slid back onto the midships there. Did some more damage all the way down, knocked out 3 windows and did some woodwork damage, and then slid back into its berth area and sank. Yeah, so a sad day for all of us.
He hasn't seen the owner of the neighbouring boat, but lots of people were stopping by to take photos.
It's obviously gone up onto our boat, slid along the length of our boat, and gone back into the water, taking this out as it goes. And obviously there's a hole in the hull somewhere.
Divers and salvage teams were fishing out cars, containers and boats from the water. A huge 50-foot catamaran was totally flipped, floating upside down by the marina. Nick Lewis is in charge of salvage company Marina Services Auckland and was kept busy last night and through today.
We would not long finish the job, and we're on our way home actually, and we just heard this big roar. And one of the fishermen across on the viaduct there, one of his vehicles had actually ended up in the water and sunk on the seabed, and there was a vehicle hanging over the edge with the front wheels hanging over the side.
Some of his crew jumped on board the Great Barrier Island ferry after it came free from its moorings.
Created quite a bit of carnage, lifting the 50-foot cat out of the water from one side of the marina to the other.
A metal and glass balcony was smashed and bent totally horizontal at the Hilton Hotel. On Prince's Wharf, the Mayor Phil Goff was shown around the Shed 10 venue, which lost many of its doors and had its skylights smashed in.
This building is over 100 years old, and nobody here has an institutional memory of damage being inflicted on this building in the way that it has been in the last 24 hours. You can see those heavy doors that have just been thrown off their rollers, some of them actually into the harbour, so we're going to have to retrieve those. You can see from the force of the weather and the heavy material that's been thrown around, if that had occurred at a time when this building was occupied, you can imagine the injuries that might have been sustained.
He says the cost of repairing damage to the Cloud and Shed 10 is yet to be worked through, but he expects it'll be hundreds of thousands of dollars. For Checkpoint, Tom Furley.